Okay, folks, welcome into a special No Football Ireland episode as we're getting set. It's a big week in Ireland. It's a big week for the game here. It's obviously the game on Saturday between Notre Dame and Navy is taking place in the stadium, but there's an equally interesting and great event happening this week with the event in Energia Park in Donnybrook, formerly Donnybrook Stadium, the G.I.F.T event. It's Dublin Friday Lights, triple header between multiple schools, high schools. You got Bonner and Prenny High School against the NFL Academy, Seton Hall against Baylor, and then the AFI Irish Wolfhounds are going to go up against the Community School of Naples. It's all part of Global Football's initiative, and I'm delighted to welcome, firstly, Patrick Steenberge to Pregame, as we call it. Patrick, how are you doing? You good?
I'm well, Michael. Yeah, thanks for having us on here. And we're fired up. We've been getting ready for about 2 years, so it's almost time to play ball.
Before we bring in Coach Fitzgerald, Patrick, just talk to us around this project. So for anyone watching or listening to this, talk to us about this G.I.F.T project and what you're aiming not just to do this year, but next year also.
Sure. This actually is something I wanted to do long ago. I started the Global Football Organization in 1996, so this is year 27. And I brought some, mainly been working with a lot of the Division III colleges, and I brought a number of those teams over to Ireland, as well as, to the UK, to Spain, to Italy, different countries. And I've had some high school teams, but when Notre Dame and Navy announced that they were going to play in Ireland back in 2012, our travel partners with the Anthony Travel Group, that's where they're based, is at Notre Dame. And so John Anthony and I talked about, getting involved in bringing high school teams. So that year in 2012, we brought 12 teams. Played 3 doubleheaders in Donnybrook and Parnell Park and out in Navan, Park Tulchin. So it was a great success. And then we kept going in 2014 when Penn State and Central Florida were there. I brought a couple PA schools. And then in 16, we had a triple header, again, with different schools from different states, which Coach Fitzgerald was part of that event. So, and we've just been waiting for COVID to stop and for people to start traveling again. So now we've got it going, and I'm actually, as we talk here, like just today, I was talking with some other schools about next year. Florida State and Georgia Tech have already announced for next year. So I've got other schools now that are rolling in now that they can plan it as an annual event. So I see it just expanding, but it's really good high school football. And in the 2016 games, the triple header there were 5 guys that actually played on those teams that went on to be starters at Notre Dame on their defense. And one of them is still playing because of COVID. Their defensive captain, J.D. Bertrand, will be playing against the Naval Academy. So it's good high school football.
Patrick, that seems really, really interesting, just generally for fans here, because it's one thing watching the NFL, then going to the college game and actually seeing where it's at. We've all watched Friday Night Lights over here. So actually having the opportunity to see it really in person is going to be awesome. And to have Coach Fitzgerald on from Seton Hall is awesome. Coach, firstly, welcome in. Really appreciate you taking your time to chat to us ahead of this big event on Friday night.
Well, I'm excited to be on this call with Patrick and you, Michael. And, we're getting ready for the game this week and, trying to stay focused on the task at hand, which is playing a great Baylor team. So we're honored to be part of this event and honored to share the field with a great opponent.
Talk to us around your sort of background into this, Coach, because you were talking off screen before we started recording that this isn't your first rodeo doing this G.I.F.T event.
No, I was a part of the 2016 team, 2016 game when I was an assistant at St. Peter's in New Jersey. And Patrick and I stayed in touch. We both have, obviously Patrick is a Notre Dame legend, and I grew up a Notre Dame fan, so we had a bunch of mutual connections and stayed in touch over the years and met many times at the American Football Coaches Association convention at different places in January every year. And, we just stayed in touch, and I became the head coach here at Seton Hall Prep in 2018. And I knew that our school would really dive into this opportunity, when we were ready to. And after COVID and some success that we had on the field, and our administration really wanted to take part in this, and they've just done a tremendous job in supporting our players, our families, and our school at this. So we're excited to bring a large contingent over to Dublin.
Talk to us, Coach, about that contingent you're bringing over. You're going up against a school from Tennessee in Baylor. For people that are listening, watching this, maybe aren't aware of Seton Hall, or just where it's located. Talk to us about Seton Hall and just sort of your plans for the weekend for Friday.
Sure. So Seton Hall Prep is about 15 minutes west of New York City. We're minutes from Newark Airport. We are the oldest Catholic school in the state of New Jersey. And we have a rich tradition, not only athletically, but academically and service-wise. And it's a great place to work. And we have a large Irish background. Our headmaster, our headmaster father, or Monsignor, Michael Kelly, is as Irish as they come, and he's excited to send us over there. He won't be joining us, but he will be with us in spirit. And we have a Gaelic society. We march in the West Orange St. Patrick's Day parades. Our quarterback's first name is Liam. We have a tight end, O'Sullivan. We have a lineman, McKee, Irish background. So it adds a little extra flavor to this whole thing.
It's unbelievable just to sort of hear, Patrick, just from what Coach said there now, the connections there, and how I think sometimes being from here, we might take it for granted, but like just seeing what you set up there, and even what Coach has talked about, like just the school itself. I guess, Patrick, for you must take a great sense of pride in being able to organise something like this, and you see the development of this from when it was last held here to now. And I guess the team that a lot of us will not just be aware of, obviously you got the Irish Wolfhounds, the youth team there, which is fantastic to see, and we've seen the great work that went on at the European Flag Football Championships recently in Limerick. But you've got that gap of, you've got soft core, hardcore NFL fans in Ireland, and then the more hardcore ones will be very aware of the NFL Academy and what they're trying to do. We've seen guys go from the NFL Academy and make it into the NFL. And there's a guy that played with the Belfast Trojans, Lopez Sanusi, who is currently with, just leaving the NFL Academy this year. So a lot of people are very aware of it. I think it's first off, it's great to have the Wolfhounds involved, and obviously great to have every team involved. But it's cool to see that connection with the NFL Academy in London, who are doing a lot as well over there to try and promote the game. So it's a natural progression to have them playing Bonner and Brady this Friday at midday.
Yeah, I've in everything I've done since I started global football is try to unite student athletes from different parts of the world. Most of my trips, when I take the Division III colleges and some high schools, we'll just play against a team, whether it be in Spain or Italy or France or Ireland. This event, we've been able to weave in some of the teams, and now that the AFI organization, really seems to be on their feet in a positive way, it's great to be able to work with them. Aiden's been really good to work with, putting it together from his end, and then the NFL Academy obviously brings another level of visibility to it. Their original coach there for many years, Tony Allen, was a long time friend, still a dear friend. And he's the one who asked about getting them into this about a year ago. He called me up and said, "Hey, if you're still doing that event in Ireland, we need to play some American teams. We need to get." So it'll be interesting just to see that matchup, because nobody's going to have any film really because they got a lot of new kids. They've got a new coach there. So there's a lot of interesting aspects of this from the football side as well as the cultural side. And as Bill mentioned, it's really important that these American kids get over there and they spend a couple of days embedding themselves into the Irish culture. The fact that they're going to stay on the UCD campus, I think, is outstanding. They're going to see what a college campus is like in Ireland. They're going to train on the field. So they're going to eat breakfast in the halls. My daughter actually did graduate school over at UC. That was when I was working closely with Brian Mullins to put a lot of this together. So there's a lot of elements to this, and I know from Coach Fitzgerald, all the coaches are focused, on that time on the field. Obviously, that's their goal, is to perform as best they can, have their kids ready to play. And I know that all the teams will be, it's early season, but they'll be ready to play and show off, a really good level of high school football, which is the stepping stone, as I mentioned, to the kids that then would go to Notre Dame or to the Naval Academy or to Georgia Tech, So I think anybody who loves football, and from what I hear, nobody's getting a ticket to the Notre Dame Navy game unless you got one in hand or you got a couple €1,000, right? so I think anybody who wants to watch some good football, the old Donnybrook Stadium is going to be rocking all day Friday.
I'm going to put the link in the bio, and that includes the podcast YouTube as well, folks. Do check it out. I'm going to be down there, hopefully chatting to Bill here as well. Bill, to talk to us, because I talked to Coach Newbury with Navy a few days ago and spoke to him around making the trip. I think sometimes, it's easy to glance over something like this. Like this is a huge deal for your lads, for your players that are, I'd say, like the vast majority of them are, maybe getting outside of America for the first time and actually experiencing a different country. But it's almost like a mini training camp, isn't it? They're going to be able to have that relationship and deepen bonds with each other this week.
Absolutely. First time on a plane for some of our players. And we're focused, as Patrick said, on getting ready for the game here. This trip is, I feel, going to pay dividends for us. We're going to be stuck together, from Tuesday morning when we're at school and we practice and we get on the plane all the way to, Sunday afternoon, basically a full week together. So I think, we'll make some more connections, like you said. It is like a mini training camp as far as the affective side goes, so to speak. So, we're excited about that, excited to spend time. We're going to meet some great people. I know that's going to happen. The people of Dublin and the Irish people are just so tremendous, so welcoming. That's one of the reasons, maybe the main reason why I wanted to come back and do this. Because I know that our guys are going to love it, and the way that Patrick organizes it, it's top notch. It's a first class operation. It's like a bowl game, just at the beginning of the season. So there's a lot of work to do for the game, but we're going to enjoy the other parts of Dublin as well.
Yeah, Patrick's pretty spot on, folks. It's borderline impossible to get a ticket for this game on Saturday in the Aviva. So delighted, Patrick, that you were able to get all these lads and ladies into the game on Saturday. It's a great experience for them as well. I guess, Patrick, just while we're here, obviously Bill's on and he's from Seton Hall. Could you maybe talk to us just around some of the other schools that we haven't got on this call right now, and just talk about, like, for example, Bonner and Prendy, but the community school in Naples as well. I'm led to believe that there's young fans traveling over from Florida as well there. So it's really so much more than just looking at a poster and seeing these school names. There's so many people coming over, so many ties to Ireland as well.
There's really solid history at each of these schools, but they're all uniquely different. Like Bill said, the Seton Hall Prep has been around a long time in New Jersey, and a real powerhouse in the New Jersey Catholic League, which is one of the very best leagues in America. And they turn out some great students as well as some great student athletes out of that place. That fits. Bonner and Prendy is in Delaware County, a suburb of Philadelphia. And they told me it's nicknamed the 33rd County of Ireland. It's such an Irish contingent of people living there. In fact, they're getting brand new Kelly green uniforms. They're coming in all green. When they come running out into Energia Park, they're going to be lit up they want the Irish fans supporting them as they play against the NFL Academy, so they want to be the home team for the Irish. So I think that'll be really fun. It's two schools. It was a boys' school and a girls' school that combined together, which has happened a lot in our country. But they've got Jack Muldoon, a pretty Irish guy, as their head coach. And he's got his guys ready. They had a very good year last year. He's replacing a lot of talent, but they're excited, as is the whole kind of city of Philadelphia, which is obviously big Irish country. Community school in Naples is a smaller private school in Naples, Florida, obviously a beautiful part of the world. They came over also in 2016 and played one of the teams from Atlanta, and they they've got a new athletic director, came in a year ago. Some people may know. Eugene Chung is his name, and he's got a New England Patriots Super Bowl ring. He was part of that team as an offensive lineman. And he now came in as athletic director about a year ago. And from talking to some of my buddies, it sounds like they've been able to get some new big offensive linemen to show up to play against the Irish team, the Junior Wolfhounds. And that's going to be a fascinating game because they keep asking me, what are the Wolfhounds like? I said, I had no idea. I've seen the senior level teams play, and I've gone to a couple of junior games, but I know that the sport of American football is evolving so quickly in Ireland, and I've been around it enough to know that the GAA is the powerhouse. When a kid's young, he's playing GAA, he's playing that form of football or hurling, and that's how they develop their skills, which is awesome. When George O'Leary was over there before the Georgia Tech game, UCF game, when he played, I went to Crow Park with him. And after watching that game, he said every athlete, every youngster should play Gaelic football because it's left, right, up, down, forward, backward, both hands, both feet. It's just an incredible sport for that. So the young men who are playing Gaelic sports can evolve and move into the American football scene. And it sounds like there's a big attraction. I know the Steelers now have identified Ireland as a global market for them. And I'm quite sure we're going to have a Steeler representative at our games, especially for the third game. He wants to watch the Irish team perform there against the Naples team. So, yeah, we're going to bring people from all over the country, coming in different parts to Ireland for that. Estimates are there's going to be 40,000 Americans in Dublin that week. So it's not a great time to go meet the Irish. They're going to be There'll be plenty of Americans, but we're going to focus and we're going to blend in, like I said, some educational things, some time away. And then Saturday afternoon, we have a really fun, it's a private event, but we've got Crow Park for our awards luncheon. So all of our teams are going to be, imagine we're going to have like 500 people in the 84,000 Crow Park. And they've set that up for us to do our awards lunch, and we'll have big screen video. That I think that's going to be kind of a magical afternoon for the boys. We're honoring the guy who was really kind of the godfather of this event. Was Brian Mullins, a true icon in Gaelic sports and the director of sport at UCD for many years. And he just, from the first time I met him, he took me under his wing and directed me and helped me meet people and told me who to talk with, who not to talk with, and just a great, great man who passed away sadly about a year ago. But we're going to honor him with our Global Ambassador Awards. For each team, we'll recognize one of their players, and we'll do that at Crow Park, have a video of Brian. So we're trying to wrap in, giving them the first thing they're going to do when they hit the ground is they're going to go to Nafina and learn Gaelic football and hurling. So all the boys that get off the plane, I want to get them active right away. And they're going to go do that. So they're going to start with the Gaelic sports, play our American football in between, and then end up there and then over to Aviva for the Notre Dame Navy game that evening. So it'll be a full week.
Coach, I think, and just to echo in terms of Brian Mullins, one of the best Gaelic players that ever played for Dublin. There's so many things, Bill, that Patrick said there. And I know you've been over here before, but from going to a game in Croke Park and just being in events in Croke Park, like when there's no sport being played, that'll be a hell of experience for those guys on the Saturday, that lunch as well. Just finally, Bill, from me, for yourself, for people watching or listening to this, I think a lot of us, we have that mindset of an NFL season, 17, 18 weeks of games with all the prep beforehand. The college football season goes on to December. It's such a big deal for you guys, but your season only goes to the end of October, and I'm right in thinking as well, this would be a home game for you guys in that sense, originally. Talk to us about your season, because it is quite short, and it almost makes this game even more significant as well, doesn't it?
Well, the game season is short. It's true. But, here at our level, at our school, and our league, it's a 12-month commitment. January 3rd, our team started off-season training. We were in the weight room 4 days a week, January through May, and then we were able to get onto the field in June, and, we started training camp here 2 weeks ago. So it's a lot of preparation for, we're only guaranteed not at 10 games. We're only guaranteed to play 10 games. So our season could end the first week in November. So this game is very important because it has implications, even though it's an out-of-state team, for our playoffs. So every single game is important. We only play one a week, and we practice, the 6 other days. So our guys will be sure to be locked in because you don't get that many opportunities to play football. It's not like some of the other sports where you can play a couple times a week. But we're looking forward to it. It's an historic opportunity for our school. I would say it's once in a lifetime, but I'm going to do it twice. But it's really special, and we are honored to be a part of it. And I'm so grateful to our school and our administration and our families and alumni for helping us to get over there. And we will represent Seton Hall Prep to the very best of our ability.
Absolutely. And just finally, Patrick, one thing that I haven't mentioned, you said about some special guests there off record, but we've got the competition with tag leader at halftime as well. That happened in the college game last year. It was fantastic. I think we all feel, we are honored to be very part of this special day, I guess. Just to round up, sell the event to anyone listening to this sitting in Belfast, Kerry, Donegal going, I might go down to Dublin on Friday.
Yeah, as you mentioned, tag is getting to be a well-known character, I guess, in Ireland, helping young men who want to kick in America, help teaching them and helping them find a school in America. So yeah, they're doing a series of competitions around Ireland over the next, prior to this week. And then on a Friday at halftime of our game 2 and game 3, so the Seton Hall Prep and then the AFI game afterwards, they're going to do a semifinals and finals, just take 10 minutes of our halftime while our guys are recouping, and they're going to go out and have a kicking contest with tag, kind of getting it all done for them. So that's something exciting going to happen right there at halftime of our game, and to see some young Irish guys, hoping to play in America. We've got the Naples team brought I think 30 cheerleaders with them. So folks who want to see American cheerleaders, you got 30 of them coming from Naples, Florida, who are going to cheer on against the AFI team. So against your junior Wolfhounds. So maybe the Wolfhounds will come up with some cheerleaders too. At least there'll be plenty of fans. Which, yeah, it's a full day, 3 games. It's a very nice stadium. Everybody knows Donnybrook there. They put all new seats in on the seated side. There's about 2,500 seats, and then standing room. So I think we'll get a good crowd turning over throughout the day. And the tickets are just €10 for students, 20 for adults, and you could stay all day. You could watch 8-9 hours of football if you're so inclined. We'll have a chipper van there, and at the end, the Bective and the Wesley centers will be open for people that want some food and drinks. So I'm looking forward to a great day. In fact, Seton Hall, they're doing a special pregame party up there at the old Wesley upstairs. They've rented it out for their alumni and their parents. So they're going to get ready for some American football, Irish style.
Well, I know when they market the Aer Lingus College Football Classic as much more than a game, there's one thing in saying it, but when you actually chat to you guys here, lads, you can really see, and like folks, Patrick's bang on there. You got your game starting at 12 o'clock with the NFL Academy playing. You can see local lads as well playing US talent. Then you got Seton Hall against Baylor, and the AFI Junior Wolfhounds get down and see them against Naples at 7 o'clock. It goes on all day. I'm going to be there in some form or not, so please do say hello if you do get there, folks. But if you're on the fence and you're interested in doing something, or if you're working at 4 or 5 o'clock and you can't make it, come for the game later on in the evening. Pop in anytime. Universe.com, and you can also check out globalfootball.com. But if you go to universe.com and search for those tickets, or if you're somehow stuck after not finding that or getting the link in the bio, hit me up on social media or hit us up as well, and we put it in your direction. Coach Fitzgerald, just want to wish you the very, very best luck as well. And Patrick, thank you so much just for your help as well, lads. And we're very much looking forward to this, and hope you enjoy the games on Friday and enjoy the game on Saturday. I hope we get a chance to relax on Saturday as well.
Thank you, Michael.